it's only me. Today we're going to be having a look at Deep Purple, Child in Time, live. This is a longie. It's 9.5 minutes of what is supposed to be mythically wondrous rock excellence at the turn of the 1970s. I've never heard this band before. I haven't even heard the name, which is strange considering I'm constantly on the quest for wondrous vocal performances, and this is apparently as wondrous as it gets. Sorry I'm in my coat. It's just so bloody freezing in here I can't bring myself to take it off. Even my breath is freezing. If this happens to be the first time that we're meeting, then welcome, gorgeous. My name is Lolli. I am your fairy voice mother. And today I endeavour to break down this allegedly mythical vocal performance, talk to you about all of the vocal techniques used, and explain to you how you can replicate some of those yourself, as well as probably go deep into the music and do a bit of an analysis while hearing it for the first time. It's a reaction analysis. And if you're finding your way back to me today, then welcome to you. You already know I love you. Let's just get on with it. It's just so intense, that boy in the middle there. I love that. Looking to see what's gonna happen. Very bold. I love this guy. Look how intense he is. He just can't get enough. He's like wishing he had 8 eyeballs so that he could look at all of the band members at the same time. This is my kind of person.
Sweet child in time, you'll see the line that's drawn between the good and the bad. See the blind man, yeah, he's shooting at the world, bullets flying, oh, taking toll.
Sorry, it's just because if I don't tell you then you'll be like, why is she giggling? It just doesn't look like his hand's attached to his body. I've never seen anyone hold a mic like that before. It just looks like a hand that's come out and done it. Okay, sorry, all right.
Man, yeah, he's shooting at the world, bullets flying, oh, taking toll. If you've been bad,
that was well controlled.
Lord, I bet you have, and you've not been here. You've not been hit by flying lead. You better close your eyes. You better bow your head.
Blimey.
Wait for the ricochet.
Oh, very nice.
I'm crying
let's have a little breathe. First of all, that was very appealing to me. That vibrato that he did where he goes, ah, I want to hear it again. Ooh. So cool. So it's vibrato, but not as we know it, because a natural sounding vibrato would move a bit faster than that, wouldn't it, usually? It'd be like, ooh. But this is very, very rhythmically precise. Ooh. Very deliberately. And that's lovely because it's bold and it's unique, and anything that's bold and unique, I usually like. Depends. While we're on the subject of his vocal techniques, he is officially crowned this day with this scrunchie. No, let's use the yellow scrunchie because it's like gold. The onset king. I don't think I've heard a better vocal onset than that, more precise. So let me show you what I mean. Gosh, it was good. It was around about here. And okay, let me show you first.
See the blind.
So he jumped a big old jumperoo from, oh, that was a good guess, E to E. And on that subject, remind me to talk about octaves in a second, okay? Because that's a big thing. And then he goes, if. So by jumping up an octave in one's voice, we double the amount of times that they come together to chop the air up. So usually the onset of that note that we jump to, another way of saying the way that the note begins, is a bit wobbly in some way. Maybe it'd have a bit of a fry, or a like a bit of a gulp to it, or a bit of a breath, or it would be quite loud to make sure that those vocal folds really do come together fast enough. But no, he's kept his vocal folds nice and thick when he goes to this top note, but he hasn't changed volume hardly at all, and you can barely hear the way that the note begins. There's no like messiness of any description. The note just sort of pops out of nowhere. It just appears. Like my dog when she hears a packet rustling. It's like, how did that just get here? That's like this note. When he jumps up the first time, which we would assume probably that is the highest it's gonna go, because it's already really sort of up there. That was perfect. And then when he jumps up again for the closure of his vocal folds is spectacular. And that, my fairy voice children, is because of a little something called, no, this is the crown scrunchie, the glottis. So the glottis is the space between your vocal folds, and you can think of that like a butthole, because it does this. And when you have good control of your glottis, it means that your vocal folds can come together at your beck and call. And that's what's happening here. So occasionally you hear that little snappy sound, especially when he goes for those higher notes. That little snappy onset. As opposed to but that little snap is that glottis going quickly going like this, and the vocal folds coming together. And when you don't hear that little snap, it means that the vocal folds sort of aligned perfectly. And he's able to do both, and he is in such acute control of his throaty sphincter that he can use his vocal folds all thin and stretched out the same way that he can use his vocal folds more slacked and thick. And that is basically his vocal technique thus far. And so these big old high notes he's doing, you could call it a scream if you want to, but I just want to let you know that it isn't necessarily a distortion technique. There is true vocal fold closure, the glottis is tucked in, the vocal folds are nice and stretched. We do get occasionally a little bit of overdrive there, where he's got that closure that's so cozy that there's extra pressure and it vibrates the tissues above his vocal folds. When you do it in your high voice, it sounds like that. And when you do it in your low voice, it sounds like So it's essentially that same thing. But I don't think in this case that was intentionally put on. I just think it's wild and free like a lot of things seemed to be in the 70s, and it just happened. A question you might have at this time is, how is this humanly possible that this strapping male produced such high notes? Well, it's a vocal technique that I like to refer to as pinching. It's basically when you stretch your vocal folds out nice and thin, but then only connect a little portion of them, kind of like a zipper. So you don't have to use the whole gargantuous mass of your vocal folds. If I take that up, it sounds like I've got a massive range, but it's not really, because it's not the whole vocal fold, it's just a tiny little portion of them. And you can get some really beautiful shrill squeaky sounds like that. And so theoretically anyone can do this with enough practice and sort of finding that position. You just can't push it. As soon as you push it, all your vocal folds will connect, or they'll start to flap and you'll get random stuff. It's nothing to do with ball squeezing. Tell your friends, spread the good word of the glottis, and end these slanderous rumours about squeezing balls. There's a lot of octaves used in this by the organist, which is fabulous because he started with a very complicated melody, very polyphonic. The left hand was doing things, the right hand was doing things. It was like they had two different minds of their own. It was amazing. But then he strips it right back down to something that was quite technically easy to do in terms of playing those octaves, to make sure that he can support the lead singer's melodious escapades. And he did that very well indeed. Octaves are very good for tension. They give you a full sort of sonic swimming pool to sort of bathe in, because there's a lot of frequency being produced. But it's variations of the same frequency. It's double of the same frequency as opposed to new harmonic information. And so, yeah, it can make you feel like you've got space without it being thin. Octaves are great. Also, one thing, when did everyone's hair just get shit? Because all of these classic rock performances I've seen around this time period, everyone has giant, lustrous, thick manes of hair, and I'd like to know what happened. I love this repetition. It's so trance-like. Hard to tell. Just doing it with one hand. So cool. You see his mouth go doodly-dee, doodly-dee, which is so cute because the way that he's doing doodly-dee, doodly-dee, doodly-dee with the lips is kind of what the strings are doing sonically. Like the high note as the last note in that little phrase is a higher formant, which would be E as opposed to do. God, that was one of the nerdiest things I've ever said. Just entertain me for a second. assumed that it was all a bit of a free-for-all, but no, that was all perfectly timed. Talk about tense and release. My giddy aunt. Let's go back. Woo! Oh, I love that. Mirroring the rhythm with that organ part on the hi-hats. Sensorially, it's just, oh, it's delightful. All the textures and the way that things
Sweet
connect.
child in time, you'll see the line that's drawn between the good and the bad.
All the way back down to where we
See
started.
the blind man, yeah, he is shooting at the world. Bullets
Wow.
flying, oh, they're taking toll. If you feel bad, Lord,
Wow.
I bet you have. And you've not been hit, not been hit by flying lead. You better close your eyes. You'd better bow your head. Wait for the ricochet.
Sorry, I just want to draw your attention to his scrunchy face, because the face is so underestimated in terms of its part in shaping your sound and giving you a singing voice that is good. Oh my god, there's like 4 octave jumps in this. Good and the bad. The octave 1. See the blind man. Like the second jump. And then you've got the ooh. And then ah. So yeah, 4 very distinct steps. It is quite literally building you up to release you and then building you up to release you again, which is why this does not feel like a long 9.5 minutes, is because the whole time we're being built to release. I want you to notice that when he's singing, he's always scrunching his face.
See the blind man.
If you're feeling bad, Lord, I something else. With this scrunchy face position, what you're doing is filtering the voice that starts here, gets made in here, then it comes up these little tubes, and then you're filtering it to resonate higher, as opposed to lower. You hear how the same exact sound source gets filtered higher and then lower, depending on the mouth that it gets to resonate in? Well, that's exactly what happens when you filter it from the inside out. And this is so important because you're going to feel so much more confident when you use your voice if you know what effect certain face positions will have on it, because that's something that you can quite easily control. As long as you shrink your face, it's going to be filtered in that nice, shiny, bright way. And if you pout, it's going to be filtered in more of a ooh, deep way. And we need confidence when we sing because that does minimize mistakes as well. So it's just a win-win situation. Because we might see a singer as expressive as this, we might think, ooh, he's just scrunching his face because he's into the music. That might be true but it definitely isn't the only reason. I love this really rhythmic vibrato so much. What a bodacious graphic ending. I blew my mind against the wall, red lighting, fearless composition, extensive use of semitone movements. They don't mind making you feel uncomfortable, and that is very, very, very important for a musician. I read something recently, a quote that said, a good artist should disturb the comfortable and comfort the disturbed. And that really resonated with me. It is so worth listening to these purveyors of chromaticism from 55 years ago, because it shows how mysterious and abstract and experimental you can be with very, very, very limited technology. I really do believe, in terms of creative endeavours, sometimes the more resources that we have, the less creativity we can tap into, but because creativity sort of by definition is making something, and if we've got too many resources, too many sound sets to choose from, or too many instruments or post-production techniques or whatever, there's sort of less for us to do. I adore this creative vision and the sort of musical competence that was required to execute it in lieu of loads of modern technology, because now this sort of spacey thing, you would just use a lot of synths probably. But this is harmony and dissonance. It's creative melody writing, weird intervals, jumping a huge range for the singer. Very, very fiddly, fast, hypnotic moving parts in that organ and on the guitar as well. Repetitive parts that sort of feel like you're spiraling somewhere and then whoosh, you get dropped back in. The variety of colours that we get to experience from the singer's voice out of necessity, because it covers such a massive vocal range. Of course, the tone of the voice is going to change when we whiz the notes up so high, and these seem to be very much pioneers of psychedelic rock music perhaps, or just experimental contemporary music in general. I loved this, and I'm really looking forward to hearing more of what they've done. So if there are any other classics from them that you would like to see me react analyse, then do let me know in the comments, along with anything else that you want me to analyse in the comments. And that brings us to the end of today's video. I was expecting this to be longer. I can't believe we're finishing the video already. My parting message to you today on this theme would be: enjoy moments of tension in life, because they will be met with an eventual release. And the more that you can be present in those moments of tension, I think the sweeter the release will feel. Go and have an absolutely terrific day. If perchance you wanted to listen to some of my music as part of that terrific day, then you can check my other YouTube channel, Lolliwren, in the description, which has all of my original music projects.
Wouldn't that be typical of me?
If not, that's fine. Have a lovely day doing something else. If we're hanging out together at the premiere, then a ginormous premiere hug for you and another hug for everyone, no matter what time you're watching this. I love you very much and I hope to see you again next time. Mwah. Bye! But yeah, f***ing hell, what a tangent, f***'s sake. He hasn't even started singing yet. Let's go. Oh, didn't particularly want to perforate my tympanic membrane today with my glasses, but here we are. Oh, I can't even bloody see out of them, they're all foggy. Fuck's sake. I feel like I'm being so annoying today. I haven't filmed a video in 3 months. I've got no filter, everything's just sort of falling out my head. Oh, f***'s sake, I forgot to talk about octaves.